When you tell people that you don't eat meat, usually they respond with,
"Oh, so you love animals." And that's definitely true. Right, Gilly?
but that was never the reason that I stopped eating meat. I just finished watching a really good documentary called Eating Animals. It highlighted a lot of the really important reasons why a person might choose not to eat meat, and their main focus was industrial agriculture. It was really enlightening, and I'll talk more about that later. But for right now, I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about what motivated me to try to stop eating meat and why I'm not a vegan or vegetarian today.
If you know anything about factory farming conditions, then you know that animals live in some pretty squalid states. But I purposefully didn't try to learn more about that because I don't want to see that shit. I don't like watching torture. Right, Dinky? Before it was super popular, I saw this movie, Forks Over Knives. I really bought into the message because it had some very compelling research. Increased meat consumption leads to increased cancer rates. We're done here. Around this time, Walking Dead was my favorite show. You know when they close their eyes and they can see and hear the gnashing of zombies pulling flesh from bones? It was painfully obvious that what I was eating used to be alive. It has a mama and probably brothers and sisters. What am I talking about? It definitely has brothers and sisters. We ate them too. Do you remember the story arc with Terminus? It's okay, puppy, it's okay. Bob gets captured, and they keep him alive to eat him as meat. Now, I'm pretty sure they used pork sirloin as the prop in that scene, but then he reveals his zombie bite, and he goes,
"Ah, tainted meat, tainted meat."
That's all I could think about when I ate meat. Come on, you fatties. Let's go. You know that pinkish green tinge that you sometimes see on meat, especially pork? What is that stuff? It's the same color as gasoline on the water. It's so gross. So with these three things, I just couldn't eat meat anymore. I was never fully vegan. I would eat meat at family get-togethers and have milk in my coffee, but I was still under 5% of calories coming from meat, which is Dr. Campbell's recommendation to avoid casein and cancer. 2013 to 2014, I was working at a gym. And I realized that if I had meat before a weightlifting session, I was way stronger. By 2015, I was off the wagon. Put another way, I moved back in with my parents and I wasn't cooking all my own meals anymore. When I did cook, I tried to make it meat-free or as close to vegan as possible, and the family liked it. My mom especially really loved it. Flash forward to 2017, I got my own house, and I had new motivations to stop eating meat. Cost was definitely one of them, but if you trade meat for high-quality produce, you don't really save much. What I really liked was having a bloodless kitchen. I mean, nothing on my knives, my cutting boards, or my countertops ever got contaminated with animal flesh or blood. It was great. I wasn't vegan because I was still eating eggs and sometimes ice cream, but I was avoiding all other dairy, especially yogurt. I really like yogurt, but I know that low fat means high protein, which is high casein. So that's out too. So why didn't I stay with it? Stinky! Well, I started to gain weight and I was feeling really tired. I love beans and legumes, so I was eating a lot of chilies and stews and stir fries, but I was eating them with rice and potatoes, so I got kind of soft. Anthony Bourdain's complaint that vegetarians are generally flatulent was holding true as well. Well, it is a gorgeous day, but it's still winter in Canada. So I think it's time to go inside. Right, Gilly? What do you think, Sophie? When I started to become interested in growing my own food is when I really started to learn that ecosystems perform best when animals are present. Farms are really efficient when animals are there for the great work they do in fertilizing, in tilling, and in eating your garbage. What I started to realize was that my problem with eating meat was scale. If I eat 2 to 3 servings of meat per week, I'm much better able to control my weight, control my energy levels, and I feel like it's a lot healthier for our ecosystem as well. So that's my recommendation. Drastically reduce your meat consumption so that we can transition livestock land into high density, high yield farm for vegetable agriculture instead.
I really think that we can do away with the myth that the only way to feed the planet is through pesticide-resistant GMOs and the industrial agriculture model. And I think a big part of that can be starting your own garden. There's tons of green space in cities that's just being used to grow grass. And there's people out there like Curtis Stone who are doing great things in Kelowna, BC, and they're showing us that there is a different way. Imagine if you grew tomatoes and your neighbor grew peppers, and then you guys could trade. You'd have fresh, delicious, beautiful, organic produce coming out of your own back or front yard. Give it a whirl.
Right, Gil?